Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. So I know it looks a little clearer, it looks a little brighter, it sounds a little better, okay? That is because I got my iMac. I'm so excited. My content game is about to really be stepped up. I got my mic, look. I'm so excited. Yes, I'm in my baby's room. If y'all don't know, I just had a baby literally 6 weeks ago. So yes, I'm in her room until I can get my room set up for everything. So don't mind the baby stuff in the back. But let's get to it. We're here for, y'all know I always review the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I don't care what I have to do, what I got to move around, what I got to shift. I'm always going to review the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So, let's get to it. I got my notes up. So, Garcelle is in the middle, as she should be. She's that girl. She's in the middle. And I don't know, the group does seem a little smaller, but I'm good with the group that we got. I'm good with the group. I'm glad that Brenna is gone. We don't need her. Not needed. Not necessary, okay? So, okay, we really start off the episode with pretty much this whole season is really going to be wrapped around Kyle and her and Mauricio and whether or not they're like going to stay together, get a divorce, whatever. So, and I did a video on that too. So, we start off with Dorit. Okay, Dorit, she looked so good this whole episode. She looked amazing. Like, that first outfit that she had on, I said, come on, give me rich. I'm going to my child's parent-teacher conference. Give that to me, please do, okay? She looked so good. Her hair. The hair was herring, okay? She looked so damn good. So she pretty much has like this little spiritual guide. What's the person named Eagle Woman or something like that? That's coming by the house and is gonna talk to her about her possibly getting the girls together to see if they can kind of hash some stuff out. So then we go to, let me see what we got next here. I'm trying to read. Okay, so you know, everybody's getting ready to go to this quote-unquote retreat that is in Malibu. So we go to Kyle for a quick second. Kyle said that she was hurt last season by all the other girls. Now, that's confusing to me. I'm going to get on to the situation with her and Kathy, but that is really confusing to me. Why are you mad at all of the other girls? And she ends up talking about it later, but that was confusing to me. You should have been mad at Rinna. You should have been mad at Erica. You should have been mad at your sister. Those are the people you should have been mad at, but never. Anyway. Then we move on to Erica. Erica's first confessional look is everything. She looks so good. So damn good in her first confessional. She looks amazing. She looks amazing. And she talked about pretty much how she has her guard up this season because Rinna is gone. We're glad that Rinna's gone. We're glad that she's gone, okay? And the read, let me see. Okay, yeah. So the girls are pretty much coming to the retreat now, right? So you see Garcelle and Sutton in the car together. They're talking. And then, like I said, Erica said coming into this whole situation, she's really guarded because she don't really feel like she has anybody that has her back or whatever. But she's also really, really skinny. Not ridiculous skinny, but she is skinnier. And the girls, like, when she came in, was like, oh my gosh, come on, body. And Erica was like, I'm on hormones. Dorit in her confessional said, yeah, if you spell hormones, OZEMPIC. What is up with the girls on Ozempic? Is this like a newer thing? Because if so, let me know. I don't understand the obsession with Ozempic now. I mean, I guess it helps you get smaller or you don't eat as much. Somebody explain that to me in the comments. But yeah, but they asked her if she was on Ozempic. She said no, she's on hormones. So then all of the girls pretty much get together. Okay, we're all sitting in this circle. Eagle Woman done did her little ceremonies and stuff. So we're getting to the crux of things. And I guess the point is for everybody to get their issues out. And I do appreciate, like, let's start the season with wrapping up what the hell everybody was mad at last season in the reunion so that we can move forward. And we don't have to keep harping. Because I hate... It's okay to bring certain things from last season into the next season, but like we need new stuff. I'm not trying to hear people argue about the same thing for 4, 5, 6 years. If 5 seasons, it's annoying, right? So Dorit says that she was mad at Erica because during BravoCon, which just happened and it's currently happening, I think, I'm not sure. That the question asked to Erica was like, which relationship do you see on the rocks next, or which couple do you see divorcing next? And she At first, she did say she didn't want to answer, but eventually she got up and she said Dorit and PK. And Dorit felt some type of way about that. And Dorit was like, well, I felt like you was just being the bitch. And Erica was like, well, no, I didn't want to answer the question. So they showed the little clip of her saying she didn't want to answer the question. And then she said, but I gave those people what they wanted. They wanted to be entertained. That's what I did. I got up there and I answered the question. Now, I feel twofold about that. Dorit ended up saying, like, well, it was the way you answered it. You did like a little hair flip and you walked back and you doing all of that. All of that was unnecessary. I agree. But I also do understand her answering the question like, come on, we at BravoCon. She won't answer. You don't have to like it, but it is what it is. Dorit had a lot of spice this episode. Like in a good way. In a good way. So then Erica pretty much apologizes to everyone for how she acted last year. But like I said, I didn't agree with everything Erica did last year, but I do agree that all of y'all was coming for her and her back was absolutely against the wall. Absolutely 110% was against the daggone wall. So I understand why she lashed out the way she did. Did she have to? No, but I understand why she did lash out the way that she did. But, she apologizes, says, I'm so sorry for the way that I acted and it wasn't the best way and I just want to move forward. So to me, it's given very much, Erica, yes, your back was against the wall, but also because you don't have Rinna here anymore, Rinna is not here to pretty much like back you and co-sign your shit. So like you have to kind of ease it out and smooth it out with the rest of the girls to move forward in the season. So then Kyle talks about how she was upset that at the reunion, pretty much she felt like nobody had her back. She felt like when she was crying and stuff, nobody came up to her. And she said specifically Sutton and Dorit, she was upset with them not coming to check up on her because she was closest with them. Then she talks about, now this is a twofold thing, right? Because then she talks about how she feels like Sutton in particular didn't do it because she wants to stay in the good graces of Kathy. Garcelle ends up saying, like, to Kyle, like, I hear you, but my thing is, why weren't you coming for the people that was coming for your sister? Now, we're going to break that down in a couple ways, because I understand it from our perspectives. Number one, Kyle, I don't think it was necessarily on Dorit or Sutton to get up and hug you and stuff like that. Dorit did end up having your back when y'all went backstage, and they even showed that clip in this episode when she was talking to you and saying, you figure it out when you want to figure it out. Y'all have time, all of this other stuff. Sutton, I don't know how close they are, so I just don't think that was the time and the place for everybody to get up and hug you like that. Maybe behind the scenes, I just don't think that was the time because Rinna did insert herself in the situation, but it really was between you and your sister at the same time, right? So that's that. However, I absolutely believe Kyle when Kyle says that Sutton does not want to go against Kathy because she likes being invited. She's a socialite. She wants to be invited to the who's who type of thing. We know that about Sutton. If you go back to the first season of Sutton being on here, you know that that's the type of person that she is. She's very I want to be attached to the who's who. Number two, let's be very clear because I just went back the other day and rewatched a lot of my reviews from last season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just to catch me up about things. And there was, I very specifically remember in one of my videos saying, this is when Sutton was mad about the whole thing about Crystal being upset about her peeping in on her. And there was a specific episode when Kathy, not Crystal, Kathy kept calling Sutton peeping Tomiana or something, because pretty much to say she was a peeping Tom. And that episode, Sutton did not come for Kathy. She didn't say, Kathy, you keep calling me Tomiana or whatever, keep calling me a peeping Tom and I don't appreciate it. She turned around and took it out on Crystal, although Crystal had already made it very clear that she didn't mean anything malicious by it. She was just saying she felt uncomfortable. So even in my videos back then, I said, why is it that you're coming for Crystal but you're not saying anything about Kathy when Kathy's the one who's actually making these digs at you? So all of that to say, I'm with Kyle in the Sutton. Sutton really just wants to be careful, especially when it comes to somebody like Kathy, because she cares a lot about that social status and being a social life. So I believe that. When it comes to the whole thing with Garcelle, and after Garcelle said, I'm not understanding why you weren't mad at the people who was coming for your sister, and then Kyle said in her confessional, that the thing that nobody gets is why would she pretty much have the back of somebody that was talking about her so badly? Now, twofold situation with this. Yes, like I said in the beginning, I think if there's anybody that Kyle should have been mad at, it should have been Kathy, because Kathy was talking shit about you. Now she might have not said everything that Lisa said, but she did talk about you, which is why she came to your house and apologized. So I would be mad at Kathy. I would be mad at Renna, because Renna, to me, overstepped in the sense of just trying to tell you how to feel about your own sister and trying to add on all of this extra stuff that I don't really think happened. And then Erica, because Erica was also on a bandwagon with Renna. Now, from that standpoint, I get what Garcelle is saying. Yes, right? However, I'm kind of with Kyle to a degree. Now, just because me and my sibling might not get along, that does not mean that you can just talk shit about my sibling. I understand that perspective. But I also understand the perspective of you are literally going out of your way. Like, let's take this into a bigger picture. This show, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, is Kyle's show. Not really, but y'all get what it's her show. And so for you as the sister that I already have a little bit of ups and downs with, to come on this show and pretty much make me fall into the status of your little sister, the way that you're treating me. And the fact that you will go around to everybody on this show and talk about, or not just everybody on the show, but you will go to people and talk badly about me. Now, my thing is, yes. If we're related, if you're my sibling, yes, to a degree, I'm going to feel like I can say whatever it is that I want to say about you, but nobody else can. But at the same time, I also don't fall under that just because we're family. There's certain things that's not going to happen. My thing is, why should Kyle give Kathy the respect of standing up for her with everybody else when Kathy didn't give her the respect when you were talking shit about me to everybody else? That's the thing that people seem to forget. Y'all acting like it was just Kyle. Most people's problem is that Kyle sat there while Erica and Renna talked shit about her sister and didn't say anything. But my thing is it not more egregious that Kathy was going and talking to her friend group, not Kathy's friend group, was talking to Kyle's friend group about her in a bad way? Everybody's wrong in this situation. So I can understand Kyle feeling like, no, I'm not about to stand up for you, when they're just pretty much telling me all of this nasty shit that you said about me unprovoked, to be quite honest. I don't stand in that group of, oh, just because somebody's my family that I'm going to automatically do any and everything for them. No. The reason why we're even in this situation, Kathy, is because you was talking shit about me to these people. If you would have never opened up your mouth and said anything about me to Lisa or out loud or whatever the case may be, there's nothing for them to come back and tell me to have something negative to say about you. So I kind of get that. Sorry, that was a lot for that little part. I just want to get that part out. So then, everybody kind of hugs it out and everybody says that, that they've all done really hurtful things to one another. Blah, 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 blah. They hug each other. Good times. So then we go to Sutton. Sutton is in her business, and she's talking about how it's been doing so well, and she gives us a little bit of background about her marriage and how when she was with her husband, they was on the same footing. They end up growing this big business. At some point in time, he said, I want you to stay at home. She said, cool. At first, she was getting an allowance to do whatever it is that she wanted. Then he was being more strict about, oh, you can't get this, oh, you can't do that. So then that's when she started to feel like, okay, I gotta pretty much figure shit out on my own. So they end up getting a divorce or whatever. Baby, her spousal support, she gets $300,000 American dollars a month. A month. Is that not almost $4 million? Let me do some math real fast. 300,000 times 12. That is $3.6 million a year. And that's in just spousal support. That's not including what she gets making this on this show, any other businesses she has, any investments that she has. $300,000 a month, oh my gosh. But anyway, she was saying how she wants to pretty much show her ex-husband that I'm still a businesswoman. I still know what I'm doing. And she pretty much wants to prove that to him. But she says she's not going to let go of that $300,000 a month. I said, I know that's right. But she wants to show that she can still make her own money. And a lot of times in things like that, I'm not mad at the wife for getting that much money, specifically if she helped him with that business. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to give women their credit for helping men build their business. And that's in a whole bunch of aspects, whole bunch of stuff that women do that they don't get fucking paid for when it comes to helping a man with his business, especially when it comes to first growing it. So I'm pretty sure she deserves every dime of that. So, I said $300,000 a month. I would have 15,000 IMAX. 15. Okay, so then we go to Erica, and Erica is having therapy with, I think her name is Dr. Jen, but she's from VH1. She did, like couples therapy and like the rehab show and stuff. I like her. She's really good. So Tom was indicted, and like, how do you feel about that? Do you feel vindicated? And she said, pretty much, I'm glad that I wasn't indicted. Like I said, I always believed that Erica did not know how that man got that money. She didn't care. She didn't care. You're a lawyer. And it's not even so much that you're a lawyer. You're a well-known lawyer. Let's not, people pisses me off with certain things. Let's not act like, because we can actually go back to the old episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and show y'all all, not just Erica, everybody called Tom Girardi that guy when it came to being a lawyer. So why would she come into a situation where he's already established I think this is Tom's third wife. Come to a situation where he's already established both professionally and socially. He's called that guy. Why would she think anything different? Y'all really think that Erica knew anything about where that man's money came from? Like, realistically. So they flash to the other girls, and the other girls are like, well, Tom's been indicted or whatever. And a lot of them are saying, well, yeah, she might have not took the money, but I think Rob Minkoff was like, she didn't take the money, but she spent it. Yes, she sure did, because she thought that the money was fine. I'm not going to get mad at the girl for, like, something that happened in the past. She thought it was his money. What is she supposed to do? Go sleuthing through the records? Obviously the people at his job didn't even do that. So I'm glad we're putting this to an end, hopefully, and we can move on from this whole Erica Tom situation, because I'm done with it as far as I'm concerned. So there is one point, right, when Dr. Jen is like, you have to kind of, because she said, I want to, like, have a better relationship with these girls, and how do I do that? And Dr. Jen was like, well, you have to be empathetic. And she was like, and what does that mean? I'm like, Erica, do you really not know what empathetic means, or are you just playing on for the camera? And she was like, you have to put yourself in their shoes, how a situation feels for them. And Erica's like, for them. Like I said, last season, I relate to Erica in the sense of having trouble with my emotions. I don't necessarily always convey the way that I might feel about something, so it comes off like really icy, really bitchy, kind of like I'm a robot. But I just don't do well. I am empathetic. I just don't think I'm great at showing my empathy. So that's where I relate with Erica. I don't know. It could be childhood trauma. Who knows? Let's move on. Then we have Kyle and Dorit. Okay, so they're meeting up at Dorit's house just to, like, eat some food or whatever. Kyle talks about how, her and Kathy's relationship, how it's really not the best. Kyle talked about last season how, she feels like scared in front of Kathy, like she kind of shrinks down to a little girl, but she's at the point now. You could tell Kyle is fed up. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because of the situation with her sister or whatever, but Kyle is fed the hell up with everybody. She's fed up. She's fed up across the board. She done. So she's like, I'm not going to take it no more. If she don't want to come, pretty much if she don't want to come correct and treat me like an adult, there's not much to say. So she said they saw each other. They kept it really cordial and kept it moving. And sometimes you got to do that with family. And I think Kyle was like, Kathy is so used to everybody saying yes. Yes. This is my whole point. I'm sorry, not to go off on a rant really fast, but this was my whole point about the club situation last season that nobody seemed to understand. Y'all wanted to get on Kyle so badly that y'all smooth jump over the fact that the reason Kathy got mad is because she asked the DJ to play a different song. He said no. And because he told her no, she threw her white privilege and her richness in the in the bar and the person who owns the establishment's place, and they did not care. And because they did not care, she got mad. Then that's when she told Kyle, let's go. It wasn't a legit reason. It was because she did not get her way. So like Kyle said, Kathy is not used to people telling her no. She is a rich, white woman in America. She ain't used to people telling her no. That's why they even said when she was asking the DJ to turn the music and he said no, she said something like, oh, like I'm like in Beverly Hills or wherever it is that she's from. She's like, they don't do that. And he said, I don't care where you're from. So I believe 110% that Kathy is very bossy. She gets in her feelings when somebody tells her no. So no, Kyle, stand on your stand 10 toes down on it. Okay? You're not gonna talk to me crazy. Okay? Then Dorit also talks about how her and PK have had a lot of ups and downs. It seems like both Kyle and Dorit are struggling in their marriages right now. Dorit was just like, she feels like PK's not always there when she really, really needs him, which I find interesting. That whole talk I found interesting about Dorit and PK because granted, this is not for her to tell people her business, but earlier in the episode, when her and Erica was going back and forth about what Erica said, do you feel like your marriage is strong? And she said, yes, it is strong. And she said, so then why is anything, she pretty much was saying, so why is it anything that I would say, why would it affect you? It affected you because you know that y'all not in a good place. Which that conversation with Kyle to me just kind of solidified that y'all not in a good spot. So it's really not that off for anybody to think that y'all wouldn't be doing well together. Okay? So yeah, they just talked about that and, you know, how they both pretty much struggling in their marriage at the moment. So then we go on to Garcelle and her kids. This was interesting to me. So Garcelle takes her kids, the twins, okay? They all go get some food. I mean, they have a picnic on the beach. So, first of all, I have in all capital letters, yes, black girlfriend. I don't know why I didn't think that her kids would have a black woman. I mean, you know, her oldest son has a white wife. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Let me say ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just surprised that one of the twins got a black girlfriend. And she's really, really, really pretty too. Anyway, so talk about how one of the sons has a girlfriend. The other, you know, they're just chilling. So they get to the beach and Garcelle was like, you know, I just want to talk to you guys about how everything's been going, how we run the household, all of the other stuff. So they pretty much talk about one of the twins. I can't think of his name right now. Is it Jason Jax? I don't know. One of them kids said that they don't like how they have to go back and forth between their mom and their dad. And she was like, you know what, I apologize. You know that it's kind of like that. Unfortunately, that's just kind of life. And so one of them was like, well, you know, there was a point in time when you was going for like a whole year. She said, I was not going for a year. I was going for 3 weeks. This is how kids really be over dramatic as hell. Over dramatic. He said, well, it felt like a year. Okay, but there's a difference between a year and 3 weeks. That's like one time I got during a job evaluation, I was told that I'll come into meetings halfway through. And I said, please name a time that I've came into a meeting halfway through. And they said, oh, well, you'll be a minute late. There's a huge difference between being 1 minute late to a meeting and coming in 15, 20 minutes into a meeting. Just saying. So they talk about that. And pretty much her son pretty much just says, one of them says how they feel like she pretty much wasn't there. That's kind of how it comes off. Because she said, well, I try to be there for you, but then when I try to be there for you, you pretty much push me away. And he said, that's true. I do. He said, but I feel like the reason that is because you're trying to be a parent to me now when I don't need it now. I needed it a couple of years ago. And she said, so you feel like I wasn't your mom then? And he says, no. And I know that really broke her heart. Now, do I think he was being a little overdramatic? Yes, but teenagers are overdramatic. That doesn't mean that it didn't hurt any less, but I do think he was being a bit overdramatic. But I think from what I'm pulling from what he said, and this is why a lot of y'all parents, me included, because I'm going to keep this in mind as my child gets older. We, especially black people, we ain't allowed to tell our parents how we feel about nothing. Do you got a roof over your head? Do you have food? Do you have clothes? Do you have a little bit more than that? You do? So then why are you complaining about anything about me? And I don't think that that's a very healthy way to raise your kids. I think your kids should be able to kind of critique you as a parent. They're the end result. Who would know better about how you're parenting than them? Now, obviously, you don't have to take everything they say into consider and into like its meaning fully because they're still kind of young. So there's a lot of things that they don't understand. But I do think it's important to check in with your kids. That was probably really hurtful what he said, and I'm pretty sure once he gets older and he watches it back, he's probably going to be like, damn, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean like you wasn't a mom to me, although that's what he said. But I think that's just his way to convey, like, I wish you were around more. That's pretty much, through everything that he said, all I took from that is, I wish you were around more. And now that I'm starting to be like, because I think they're 15, now that I'm about to be 16, 17, I don't feel the need, I don't feel like I need you around as much as I did a couple of years ago. And that's just real life as you become older, especially once you become a teenager. It's not that you don't need your parents at 16, 17, but you don't need them in the way that you did when you were 10, 11, 12, 13. You just don't. That's just facts of the matter. You can do more for yourself. Are you all the way there? No, but the way that you parent a 15, 16, 17-year-old is not the way that you would parent a 10, 11, 12, 13. So if he means it in that sense, then I get that. Then I get him in the sense of saying, I don't really need you. I don't need you in that way anymore. I don't think he meant I don't need you at all. Now, like I said, him saying she wasn't a mom, I don't think he means like you wasn't my mom at all. I think he just means you wasn't the mom in the way that I wanted it to. But, she does have a career. She's very much so busy, not to, excuse anything. But, it's hard to find a balance between being like a good parent and also like taking care of your kids and giving them everything that they want and then some. Like, just to put a really quick pause on it real fast. There was a clip that just came out with Kim Kardashian and her talking about North feeling like, oh, my dad has it all together and he has it better and he doesn't have nannies and he doesn't have this and he doesn't have that. The only reason I empathize with Kim is because Kim, I think, has the kids, like she's the primary parent. So it's a little easier to judge her and what she does when she has y'all all the time. She has to kind of figure out how to get a nanny, how to do this, how to do that. Now, in our reality, could Kim just never work a day again in her life? Probably. No, absolutely. Could she pay people to just deal with that shit while she just deals with her kids? Probably. But that's just not the life that she lives, and she is going to get the brunt of that. However, just to say, I will say that I think, though, that is true, but I also think it's true that Kim and Kanye don't live the same way. To go off on a tangent real fast, I think Kanye he doesn't live as publicly as Kim does. Kim always has the cameras in her face. She's a reality TV star. Kanye's not a reality TV star. He might get caught out in places, but that's just because he's famous. All right, but that's all of that to say, you will get the brunt a lot of times when you're trying to figure out how to do both, and it's hard. And as he gets older, that type of stuff will come to him, but he doesn't have that point of reference for now. But I appreciated the conversation. I thought it was really interesting and honest. And then we go to Kyle. So Kyle, we're in the last scene. I think this scene pretty much kind of sets up what we're going to be dealing with the rest of the season between Kyle and Mauricio, maybe even showing a breakdown of their marriage a little bit. So Mauricio was at his desk working, putting in that work, okay? And Kyle is like, well, let me know when you're done. And so he's like, oh, yeah. But he's not really paying her no attention. And you can tell that she's annoyed. So he's like, he can kind of feel that she's annoyed. So he says to the person on the phone, like, okay, let me just call you back. Because he was literally saying, he was really making on the phone call about like his actual schedule, like scheduling different meetings. That literally was his whole call. Talking about like, oh, well, me and such is going to go golfing. And she's like, bruh, can I talk to you for a second? Oh, I'm working. Okay. All right. Whatever. So he gets off the phone. He comes and he sits next to her and they're talking. And she's like, Kyle said something, I don't know, maybe one of her tattoos was showing. And Mauricio was like, well, how many tattoos do you have now? And she's like, 5. And he was like, you have 5? I thought you only had 3. And she was like, well, if you paid attention to my body more. That is kind of crazy that you don't know that your wife has 5 tattoos. Like, how did 2 more tattoos slip up there and you didn't know about that? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So she shows him all the tattoos and she was like, I might get another one. And he was like, no, you're not. And she was like, if I want to get another one, I'm going to get one. He's like, no, that's enough, Love Bean. And she's like, if I want to get another one, I'm going to get another one. Like, I'm at the place in my life where nobody's going to tell me what to do. And I feel like she said, including you. I think she did say, like, including you. You can tell that Mauricio is probably really controlling to a degree with Kyle. Kyle is very much so the like happy, lucky go type of person. She seems like she was like that in her marriage. And it seems like now she's at the point where she's like, I don't know, Kyle seems fed up. She seems fed up across the board. She seems fed up with people in her life. She seems fed up with Mauricio and his nonsense. Mauricio, I know there's this thing going around right now, with Kyle and, you know, her being with her like lesbian lover or whatever. But I do want to say that it has been said multiple times. I don't know how many times that Mauricio has cheated on Kyle. I believe that he has. And that's why in the little preview, when he said something about her cheating, she was like, well, at least it's not me this time. Yeah, because normally it's either you're cheating or you're getting caught out about cheating. And I'm pretty sure one of those or multiple of those times that's been true. But yeah, y'all get in the comments. Just tell me what y'all think. I thought the season opener was good. I'm gonna go watch episode 2. I know it already came out. I just haven't watched it yet. I have a newborn, obviously, so I do it when I can. But y'all get in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. And I'm out. Bye.